Recent reports on March 17, 2026, confirm several explosions have rocked the strategic port city of Bandar Abbas in southern Iran. These blasts are part of a broader, intensifying military campaign by a combined U.S. and Israeli force that has been targeting Iranian military infrastructure since late February 2026. Tonight, the Middle East stands on the edge of a dangerous new chapter. Reports are rapidly emerging that the United States has carried out a highly coordinated strike against an Iranian missile depot near the strategic port of Bandar Abbas. The target, according to early intelligence leaks, was not just a weapons storage facility, but a critical node in Iran's regional missile command network. Bandar Abbas is no ordinary city. Sitting at the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz, it controls one of the most important shipping routes on Earth. Nearly a fifth of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow corridor. That is why the alleged strike has triggered immediate global alarm. According to defense analysts, the facility that was targeted had long been suspected of housing advanced missile systems capable of reaching U.S. bases and allied territories across the region. But the shockwaves aren't just military, they're political. Within hours of the explosions, Iranian officials accused Washington of launching a dangerous act of aggression. Meanwhile, U.S. defense officials have remained unusually silent, refusing to confirm or deny the operation. And in that silence, speculation is exploding. Because if these reports are true, the balance of power in the region may have just shifted dramatically as the smoke from the reported strike began to rise over Bandar Abbas. Political reactions erupted across multiple capitals. Iranian state media quickly broadcast footage of emergency crews rushing toward an industrial compound believed to be connected to the country's missile development program. Officials described the explosions as a deliberate attack on national sovereignty. But behind the scenes, something even more dramatic was unfolding. A senior Iranian military official reportedly told local outlets that the site may have been part of a highly classified missile storage network used by the Revolutionary Guard. If confirmed, this would mean the strike hit far deeper into Iran's strategic infrastructure than initially believed. Then came the accusations. Several Iranian lawmakers openly blamed Washington for attempting to cripple the country's defensive capabilities. One prominent parliament member warned that any attack on Iranian soil will receive a response that the aggressor will regret. Meanwhile, security sources in Washington suggested the operation, if it occurred, could have been a targeted response to recent intelligence reports about Iranian missile movements near regional conflict zones. That claim has not been officially verified. But the political temperature is rising fast. Military analysts now warn that the situation carries all the ingredients of a dangerous escalation: miscalculation, secrecy, and powerful governments unwilling to back down. And behind closed doors, diplomats are scrambling to prevent the situation from spiraling further. While the world debates who is responsible, intelligence circles are buzzing about something even more explosive. Sources familiar with regional security discussions claim that the targeted facility near Bandar Abbas may have been part of a larger missile coordination system, one designed to rapidly deploy long-range weapons across multiple locations. According to leaked briefing documents circulating among analysts, the depot allegedly stored advanced missile components and launch equipment capable of being transported quickly to mobile platforms. That possibility has sent shockwaves through military planning rooms. Because mobile missile systems are notoriously difficult to track, and even harder to stop once deployed. The strike, if confirmed, would suggest that someone had extremely precise intelligence about the location and timing of these assets. Which raises a troubling question: how did they know? Some analysts believe the operation may have relied on months of satellite surveillance and electronic monitoring. Others speculate that human intelligence sources inside Iran could have provided critical information about the site. But there is another theory gaining traction. Some regional observers believe the strike could be linked to a series of secret military consultations between Western allies concerned about Iran's growing missile capabilities. None of those meetings have been officially acknowledged. Yet the timing is impossible to ignore. Because in the days leading up to the reported strike, several defense officials hinted publicly that new measures might be necessary to maintain stability in the region. If that language now proves connected to the events in Bandar Abbas, it would suggest that the attack was not a spontaneous act. But part of a much larger strategic calculation. As night fell over the Persian Gulf, the crisis intensified dramatically. Iranian military leaders reportedly convened emergency meetings to assess the damage and discuss possible responses. State television broadcast images of senior commanders arriving at secure government facilities, fueling speculation that retaliation options were already being considered. At the same time, regional security forces began raising alert levels. Naval patrols increased around key shipping routes, while military analysts warned that the Strait of Hormuz, already one of the most sensitive waterways in the world, could become the next flashpoint. And then came another development that sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. Several international shipping companies quietly rerouted vessels away from the area after reports of increased military activity near the Iranian coast. Financial markets responded almost instantly, with energy prices fluctuating amid fears that tensions could disrupt global oil flows. Meanwhile, political pressure is mounting in multiple capitals. Some lawmakers in Washington are demanding transparency about what happened near Bandar Abbas. Others warn that if the strike did occur, it could trigger a dangerous cycle of retaliation. In Tehran, officials insist that any attack on their territory will not go unanswered. And now the world is watching carefully. Because history has shown that moments like this, when military actions collide with political pride, can spiral rapidly beyond anyone's control. The coming days may determine whether this remains a contained incident, or the opening move in a far larger confrontation. For now, the truth behind the explosions near Bandar Abbas remains shrouded in uncertainty. Was this a precision military strike meant to send a strategic warning? Or the first spark of a much deeper geopolitical struggle unfolding beneath the surface? What we do know is this: tensions between powerful nations rarely remain static after an incident like this. Behind closed doors, diplomats are racing to calm the situation. Military planners are studying every detail of what happened. And political leaders are weighing their next moves carefully. Because one misstep could transform a regional crisis into something far more dangerous. The story is still developing, and every hour seems to bring new information, new accusations, and new risks. So now we want to hear from you. Do you believe this was a calculated show of force, or the beginning of a much larger confrontation?